What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Concrete Edge right here on Deco-Crete TV. My name's Jeff, and today we've got another Concrete 101 episode for you. We're going to go over a few different ways to get concrete from the mixer truck into your forms, so stay tuned and you're going to learn all about it. So whether you're brand new to concrete or you've been pouring for years, and we're all gonna have to deal with those jobs that just won't let you back the mixer truck all the way up to the slab and get your chute inside the forms. Now sometimes it can be quite a challenge to get the concrete down in a timely fashion. So we're gonna break this topic down into a few different categories so it's easy to follow, and who knows, maybe I can even stay on track for this video. So first up is ground protection. So before we even get started on the different methods of transporting the concrete, it's always important to consider what kind of damage you're going to do to the surroundings. I mean, honestly, even a wheelbarrow can make a small rut in your customer's yard if the ground is soft. So using some kind of protection, I mean ground protection that is, it just also makes the job a lot easier for the guy pushing the wheelbarrow. Now the old go-to for this is plywood, and that definitely still works. The downside to plywood is it just breaks up kind of easy, and if you store it outside, it just tends to rot out really quick. So some sort of composite mat system is just a great thing to consider, and these ones here from Checkers are just absolutely awesome. I mean, they are a bit of an investment, but once you have them, I think you're gonna find yourself using them all the time. Now, they're not gonna break up like plywood, and you can leave them out in the rain all you want and even power wash them off after the job. You could also use them to build a quick ramp to get you over offsets. I mean, heck, you can even drive a mixer truck on these things, and who knows, maybe on some jobs that's all you even need, and you can just leave that buggy at home. Now this also works great in the springtime to get your dump truck or your equipment back to the work area without tearing up the customer's yard. So next on the list is wheelbarrows, and I know we all love wheeling concrete. I mean, I remember the first time that I got the pleasure of wheeling concrete in the basement, and you know, I thought it kind of sucked. And although I'm not wrong about that, it did suck, but I can tell you that it gets a lot easier and honestly even kind of fun once you get used to it. And there's still plenty of crews out there that wheel concrete every single day. Now this is certainly the cheapest way that you're going to get started, and if you're pouring a basement, I mean, other than a pump, it's really the only option you have. Now there are better wheelbarrows than others for this. I mean, concrete weighs about 150 pounds per cubic foot, so depending on the size of your wheelbarrow, how full you make it, I mean, there could be up to 600 pounds in there, and that rickety old wheelbarrow that you use for yard work is just probably not gonna cut it. You're gonna need something that's sturdy enough to handle all that weight. Now the weight also causes the tire to sink into your sub base, and some sort of wheeling boards is just gonna be a must. Now you don't necessarily need full width sheets of plywood for this. You can just rip that plywood down into 12 to 16 inch strips. It's gonna make it easier to move around and save you some cost. Now my favorite wheelbarrow is this one here from Brentwood. It's got this plastic tub that is just practically indestructible, and it is plenty sturdy enough for the job. I also love this really wide tire because it makes it easier to balance, and it doesn't sink into the gravel nearly as bad as that skinny little tire that come on most wheelbarrows. Now you still have to know what you're doing, however, because spills can happen really easy. And we had a rule on the crew that I used to work for that if you spilled a load or you dumped it over the chalk line, well, you had to buy a 6-pack on the way home. So let us know in the comments, do you guys have a rule for when people dump over the line? Over the line! Huh? So now on to the hot rods, and I'm talking about buggies.
It's Brittany, bitch.
And man, this just really seems to be the sweet spot for small to mid-sized contractors. I mean, buggies are feasible to own, or you can get one at pretty much any equipment rental shop. Now, the majority of the concrete that we poured over the last 15 years have come out of a buggy. Now, they even come in handy for putting in gravel or hauling your tools or color hardener around the job site. Now, there are plenty of options to choose from if you're looking to buy one, and really the big decision that you gotta make is whether you're gonna go with a wheeled buggy or a track buggy. Now the wheeled buggies do tend to have a faster top speed, but they spin out easily in gravel and they just don't handle mud very well. Track buggies on the other hand, man, they got a lot more traction and they can pretty much handle any kind of condition you put it through. And they won't mess up the plastic or wire mesh as bad if you're pouring a building slab. Now with track buggies, on a dry day, you might not even need any ground protection. Now these ones here from Candycom, they even come with the option for the tub to pivot so you don't have to turn as much. Honestly, after using track buggies for the last few years, it would be really hard for me to go back to one with wheels. So we're gonna finish it all up with pumps. I mean, wheelbarrows and buggies, I mean, they can get you through most backyard patios and small buildings, but as the jobs get larger, or if you need to pour something that's up on an elevated platform, I mean, a pump is really the only way to go. Concrete pumps are gonna cost you more, and they usually need to be scheduled a few days or even a week in advance, and there's gonna be some setup time. Once that's all out of the way though, it is smooth sailing. Concrete pumps not only speed things up, but if you have a good operator, they can place that concrete pretty much right where you want it, and it's just gonna save you a lot of raking. Now, trailer or line pumps, they're handy for smaller jobs or basements, so the line just comes right out of the back of the pump and it just runs on the ground. Now, boom pumps, on the other hand, are just awesome because now the pump hose is up in the air and the operator doesn't have to drag it around or shut the pump down to take out sections of hose as you go through the pour. Now, the other kind of pump you might see out there is a telebelt, which isn't really a pump at all. I mean, the mixer truck just dumps the concrete right in the hopper. Instead of going through a pump system, it just falls onto this conveyor belt and it just takes the concrete wherever you need it. Now, telebelts are also really handy to put fill material in areas that you can't get your Bobcat into. Now, of course, there are other options like skid steer buckets or front end loaders, so don't be afraid to use your imagination when the situation calls for it. But no matter what, I would just never recommend this. Well guys, that's pretty much it for today's show. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and man, we really appreciate all the support that you guys show to the channel by tuning in every week and hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Please leave us a comment if we missed anything, or if you have a funny story about the craziest way that you've ever seen someone get concrete from the truck to the slab. Now, if you're already subscribed, don't forget about that bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and it really helps our channel out. So, from all of us here at Deco-Crete TV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.